Okay, Liverpool 2, Everton 1. You all wanted us to be in a world where we didn't win games with late goals. That was that. Sort of. Yeah, there you go. That was hard work. That was really hard work. More hard work than it should have been. Cruise control in the first half. Absolute cruise control. Totally dominated. Playing brilliant football, making them look rubbish. As it should be. It's a Merseyside Derby at Anfield with David Moyes as Everton manager. The first half is exactly what that game should have been and exactly how the full game should have gone. But it didn't go that way. And ultimately, Everton were the better team in the second half, and I can say that with no ego. They were, without being particularly good. They certainly were more threatening. They certainly felt more dangerous, and maybe that was a little bit of the nerves of being on the ground. Maybe it looked different on the telly, I don't know, but I imagine the commentators were probably quite excited by the idea that Liverpool might not win, because they do love a bit of the Ev. But yeah, we've got to do more, we've got to do better. But first half, Ekitiké, love him, so good. There was obviously there was a call to start Isaac, why not? Got us minutes in midweek, why not do it again? And Scott's been adamant that this is why we bought two really good forwards, so we can do things like this. And we've been talking about where will Ekitiké go? That's not a question for today, maybe in weeks to come. There will be a question of playing them both, and maybe Ekitiké has to move wide. He did brilliantly in the first half, he really did. And obviously with the change of shape in the midfield, more Liverpool last season than Liverpool this season, worked really well for us, and it meant he got to do that. There was Diaz / obviously Roberto Firmino, false 9 stuff, linked it really well, hold it up, cause their midfield problems, and obviously, get involved in the most important way as well. Gravenberch again, absolutely stunning footballer is Ryan Gravenberch. And I don't know what your thoughts are on it, about why it didn't quite kick off, but they had a chance really late on in the first half. And not much, but like a half chance. And it felt quite reminiscent of Atletico. I see you go again. Yeah, and then second half, the atmosphere was flat, a lack of jeopardy, and we've had that a bit of times under Slot, but even on the clock when you feel like the game's won, which is mad because obviously it wasn't everything we've seen this season would suggest no game's ever really won at half time. But we didn't kick on. There was a point in that game where they had more shots. We still had the possession, but they had the more XG in the half. I don't know how that ended up, but yeah, we just didn't do enough. Didn't create enough. The best real chance of that half came from Inverts on the break, and he maybe should have just webbed it first time, comes back inside, miscontrolled it. We just didn't threaten in the second half, and then substitutes. I thought Curtis Jones was a good sub. I thought it really was. McAllister was tiring, you could see that. Ekitiké was tiring, it was a good decision to take him off. Gakpo struggled all game long to make a positive impact. He's not having a great season so far, but on the evidence of what we saw there, it didn't look like particularly the answer. Isaac and Merseyside didn't get in the game enough. They didn't add to what we were doing. We didn't become more threatening for having them on the pitch. And a little bit of that is, I think, Everton's centre-forward change. He was better than Beto, the lad they brought on. Barry, was it? He gave our centre-backs more of an afternoon. And it just felt like we lost legs in the middle of the pitch. Frimpong maybe would have been a decent idea to come on for Bradley, just freshen things up. But on the other side, I want to mention, just in terms of the positives, that was Kerkas's best game for us by some distance. I thought Kerkas was excellent. And in terms of other excellent performances, Szoboszlai again, absolutely brilliant. They were the two real standout performers across the full 90 minutes, in addition to obviously the goal scorers. And I thought Salah had a good game, but again, we stopped playing with them. We just stopped playing football in their half in the second half. It was bizarre, really bizarre, and I really thought the subs would allow us to go again and freshen things up, and it just never came to pass. So yeah, really poor second half, which leaves you with the overall feeling of a bit like, we kind of got away with one, but given how many goals we have conceded and left ourselves in the realm of needing late goals, there was a real fear that crept in, I think, more anxiety certainly of like, oh god, you know, and then when they were having like corners and set pieces late on, you're thinking they should be leaving it very late to concede and then score. So the fact that we grounded out, we played very, very maturely in the final few minutes. Free kicks in the corner flag, playing them to Mo, drawing, you know, throw-ins and holding on to possession, all that kind of stuff. That was the way you needed to see that out, rather than like throw it forward and try and get that killer blow, as much as that would have really eased the nerves and really left us feeling on tiptoes and cloud nine and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, ultimately, yeah, we made hard work for that one, but it's a Merseyside derby. It's done and dusted. It's another difficult fixture out of the way in a run of really difficult fixtures at the start of the season, and Liverpool remain the only team with a perfect record so far. And what it does mean is that we get to move on from this. There won't be any great t-shirts being made, there will not be a Christmas jumper being made out of this one this year, but we do get to enjoy the Arsenal City game on Sunday, knowing that there really isn't a bad result, and that is a little bit of something. So yeah, enjoy the rest of the weekend, Reds. If you want more content, head to redmenplus.com. The player ranking show with Steve and Edel will be over on there immediately after the game, and there will be a match vlog from me as well over on Maych TV, so I'll put that on the screen here. If you notice that, will be absolutely splendid. Nice one, up the top of the table, Reds.